And hello, Scorpio. How are ya? I hope you're well, Scorps. Thanks so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. I'm here to do a reading for you. It is a weekly reading, and we are going to look at whatever the universe wants for you. So we're going to let the universe pick the topic. I'm just going to read the cards, and we'll find out what's going on from here. Hope you got your intuitive hat on, so you can tell what I'm talking about. Let's find out what's going on for Scorpio. I am reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. So please remember that this is not only a reading for Scorpio Sun. So I may be bringing up other energies in this reading, and that is why, because I am also reading for Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter Scorpios. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you all about the extended, how to find that, and about the new private reading sale that I have on. Let's find out what's going on for Scorpio in this 9-card draw. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, got the Three of Swords, and we've got the Two of Pentacles. Ooh, you know what it feels like, friend? You're running out of time. That's what it feels like. And when I mean running out of time, I mean to make some sort of decision. And I think it's freaking you out a little bit because you don't like to make quick decisions, right? I'm right there with you, friend. I'm a Taurus and you're a Scorpio, and we are sister signs, and we don't like to be pushed into doing anything we don't want to do, right? And so I feel like, Scorpio, that you are agonizing over some sort of decision. You've been going back and forth on something, wobbling a little bit about whether or not to build some sort of foundation or to get into a situation where you are getting to know someone better. It feels like you've been reassessing the situation, waiting a long time. I don't have to do this right now. It's like you've been giving yourself a lot of time to think over a situation, but I feel like time is running out, or you feel like time is running out. It feels like with the Three of Swords, your worry is, if I make this decision, it feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like with this Knight of Pentacles, it's like, but I've got all the information. It's like you're in your head saying, I've got all the information. I think it is what it is. Like, it looks like what it is. So it feels like somebody here has got all the data and is trying to make a decision based on the data that I have, that I really do want a partnership, or I want to build some sort of a future, or I want to build a foundation, or at least try and build a foundation, but I'm scared that I'm going to get hurt, or that this is going to be a disappointing situation, or I'm going to make the wrong decision about offering somebody something here. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got the Two of Cups. There's the problem. That's what it feels like here. It did feel like that to me. Yeah. Oh boy, you got it bad here, friend. And yeah, we got the Page of Swords. I feel like you are digging up information, making observations, going through the document in your head. I don't know if you've got do's and don'ts going on, or yeses and no's, or what it looks like in the present and the future. But it feels like the page is trying to learn about living in uncertainty. It feels like I feel like you, Scorpio, in your life, you're always so certain about your decision-making process. And it feels like you have not yet made a decision, because this is something that is making you uncertain. You don't have clarity of the mind. I feel like you want clarity, you want stability of the mind, and you don't yet have all the answers. And that's why the Page of Swords is holding the sword in the air. I got something to say. I got more questions. I'm not really sure. Trying to learn about the situation, right? This is the student. I feel like this has to do with whether or not you decide to go forward and deepen your bond with somebody. This could be platonic. This could be romantic. The Two of Cups isn't always romance. And we've got the Queen. So I feel like this Queen of Cups is telling me I've really got to dig into my intuition. I got to be compassionate and kind about the decision that I make. But it feels like this is a decision that is going to be, like, in your mind, it feels permanent. And that makes sense, because you're a fixed sign. And the fixed signs are always like, I want yes or no, lights are on or off, the door is open or closed. Like, I don't want the gray area, because that's where the sharks swim, right? You can't see what's below me. So it feels like somebody here is trying to make a decision. Maybe I don't have enough information. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm not ready. Like, it feels like a maybe. Maybe I have deep feelings. I'm trying to understand or get clarity on my deep feelings. Why do I feel like I'm going to get my heart broken? Tell me more about Scorpio. We've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the Strength card in reverse. So you don't quite have the courage to make the decision just yet. And I think it's because you're already happy. Scorpio, I think that your life as it is right now, you're like, look, I don't have to worry about external validations. I'm happy on the inside. I built this happiness on my own. I'm finally in a place in my life where I'm really happy. So do I deepen the bond? Do I build a foundation? Because it feels like the reassessment phase is still going on, I'm going to say. We've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. There is going to be something revealed to you that has been concealed from you that I feel is going to help you with the clarity or making a decision. The Strength card being in the reverse tells me that you're trying to muster the courage to do this or to say this or to feel your feelings really deeply. It feels like you want to reunite with somebody here. There's the Three Cups. Look, we're in retrograde energy. If you didn't know, Mercury went retrograde in Pisces. That's why you're feeling so emotional. You could have a Piscean placement in your major planets, maybe Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, maybe Mars, but it feels like you feel this is like a decision. Once I say yes, I'm not going back. And that is true for the fixed signs. That's sort of how we think, right? That's how our brains move. And you're very strategic. I feel like you're being emotionally strategic here because although I feel like you do want to deepen the bond, it feels like when you step in, you fall all the way. Okay, what am I hearing? Is it James Ingram and someone else sings it with him? It's a song called Next Time I Fall. And it's from the 80s, I think, or the late 80s. Next time I fall in love, I'll know better what to do. Next time I fall in love. So I'm going to say, Scorpio, that this is not your first rodeo. It feels like you've had a very long-term relationship and it didn't work out. But I feel like that information from that relationship, it was probably very long. Like I'm talking like 10, 15, maybe even longer, 10, 15, 20 years. It feels like next time I fall in love, I'll know better what to do. And I think that you thought at this point you would be able to make an easier decision, or that this time you're not starting from scratch or the beginning, you're starting from wisdom. So it feels like that song is like Next Time I Fall. That might have some information for you. All right, let's put down two cards because this is what's going on under the surface. Tell me about Scorpio. We've got the Death card. So see, this is a permanent change for you, right? You're like, it's all or nothing here. Once I step in, once I decide that I'm going to deepen the bond here, I step off the edge and that's it. I'm all the way in emotionally. And that's the scary part, right? That's why you're a little bit terrified. Tell me about the Death card. We've got the Ace. I think you're going to do it, Scorpio. Whatever this is, look, maybe I'm not talking about a relationship. Maybe I'm talking about you finally trusting someone as a best friend. It could be that. You could be changing your job, or maybe you were in marketing and now you want to be a lawyer, or it seems like a big change. It's a big deal. It's a big permanent change. And when you decide this, you will be literally transforming your future. Your future with the Pentacles is your abundance. So time, effort, energy, money, how I invest in things, how I'm going to grow from here. I'm going to plant a seed, and now this is going to be a brand new chapter of my life, but how is it going to grow? So I feel like you're a little bit terrified. You're trying to muster the courage to be brave enough to reunite with somebody, because we've got Three Cups here, right? So that's celebration, reuniting. Tell me about the Three of Swords. What is your biggest fear here, my friend? Because it feels like your biggest fear is this Three of Swords, which is, what if I'm disappointed once I jump in? What if I'm immediately get buyer's remorse? So maybe you're buying something, right? This could be a big purchase. Tell me about the Three of Swords, please, for Scorpio. We've got the Page of Pentacles. I think it's a problem with vulnerability, my friend, because we've got two pentacles, one pentacle, one more is four. Four is shut off, shut down. I think you're having a hard time with vulnerability. I think the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Swords is giving me vulnerability hangover. Maybe you've been vulnerable with someone and you're in the vulnerability hangover and you're like, I don't know if I can do this every day. I don't know if I can be open to my emotions every day. We've got the Hermit energy. I feel like right now you're not, if this is a person we're talking about, you're not speaking with them right now. And I don't think it's for any reason, any terrible reason. It doesn't feel like that yet anyway. But it feels like that you're quiet right now. This person's quiet with you or you're quiet with them. We've got, there it is, the 4, right? We called it out at the beginning. We called the 4 of Pentacles when I was saying 2, 3, and 4. So we've got 4 Pentacles. I feel like, it's never been about hard work for you because the 4 of Pentacles plus 4 of Pentacles is 8. It's never been about hard work. I feel like you're someone who gets into a relationship and gives her all. You get in deeply. You're very compassionate and kind and loving and giving, and you give everything emotionally. And I think that you are trying to be very careful or practical or maybe a little bit apprehensive, I think, about making this to you. It feels like a really big commitment. So, I mean, maybe you've been in the dating world and maybe you've decided that you're just going to go exclusive with someone. Look, maybe to someone on the outside, that doesn't look huge, but for Scorpio, it is. Because you're saying, when I step in the ring, that's it. I'm fighting for you. They're going to have to come through me to get to you. Like, you all of a sudden become the person who is the protector, right? And so it's a bigger deal to you than it looks like for everybody else around the outside. Let's talk about this 2 of Cups here. I'm telling you about the 2 of Cups for Scorpio. We've got the Devil. See, that's what it is. The 2 of Cups equals the Devil for you. It equals codependency. And I'm kind of terrified with it because once they get their meat hooks in me, I'm never going to be able to leave. It feels like I'm scared of codependence. I'm scared of that I don't see what I don't see. It feels like doubt, fear, of the 2 of Cups, because I feel like this isn't your first rodeo, because the song says, next time I fall, I'll know better what to do. And I think that you thought that when this showed up again, that you would know better what to do. And I think that that's the problem, because look, the Lovers is here. Yeah, I think you're about to choose somebody and it terrifies you a little bit because the 5 of Cups is here. The 5 of Cups is regret. What if I regret my choice, right? What if the Devil is actually my intuition and I'm not listening? It feels like somebody feels like they may regret their choice. It's an overwhelming decision. 5 and 2 is 7. And maybe you're thinking that you see the potential in this. 7's illusion, right? So maybe you're deciding to pick one from all of the ones that you have opportunities and options with. You're picking one. And I feel like it's feeling overwhelming for you. Tell me about this Page of Swords. Tell me about the Page of Swords. It's the information. Tell us what Scorpio needs to know. It's the information that maybe Scorpio doesn't see yet. Because something is going to be revealed to you. Something you didn't see before. What is this? We've got the Temperance card. We've got the 4 of Swords. Ooh, we got the Emperor. There's a lot for you to lose. You've got a lot to lose, friend. So I feel like you've built an empire. You either have a business or you've built a really large or good or solid reputation in the corporate world. You could be a president or a vice president. You are somebody who I feel is tasked with carrying a lot. You make a lot of hard decisions in your life. You're somebody who I feel needs autonomy, which means that the person that you choose cannot be codependent because you need autonomy. The Emperor does. There's going to be times when I'm just not going to be there for you and you're going to have to do it by yourself. I feel like you're trying to make a clear decision because you're an Emperor and you're not just going to give the whole entire empire over to just anybody. You can't. Because you have the Emperor is not going to sacrifice the many for the one, because the Emperor runs the entire empire. And the whole empire will fall if I make the wrong decision. I think that's what the 3 of Swords might be about. More than getting your heart broken, it might be what's at risk. So we have the Temperance card here. I feel like what you're doing is you're waiting. You're on a fact-finding mission. And what I mean by that is like maybe you're getting a background check on the person that you're with. Or maybe if you are the Emperor, it feels like it's really important that you know exactly who you're dealing with. Now, even if you get all the facts, the Swords facts, I'm going to say, so the factual stuff, the external detached information, the data, Even if you have the data, there's still a chance that you could get your heart broken, right? So the Temperance card is here. The moment of alchemy is coming for you to make this decision. And I feel like it's when you finally come to this place where you have enough information. This is interesting. This particular Four of Swords, you can see there's 3 on the bed, right? We already have the 3 of Swords here. And then this person's got the Ace of Swords in their hand. So hopefully looking in my dreams for clarity, I'm going to say that maybe some of you might dream this into clarity, that your answer might come through a dream. I feel like you're tired of thinking about it, that it's exhausting a little bit, but I feel like you're worried about many things. This is very highly complex here. Let's talk about the Strength card in the reverse, because maybe you're I'm going to say that the Queen, right? The Queen is the one who is emotionally open. The Queen of Cups, or the King of Cups, is the one who is emotionally available, but keeps everything under the surface. I'm not really going to show you my feelings, but I feel like you're somebody who this Queen, because the King of Cups is Scorpio, and whether you're the man or the woman, the masculine or the feminine, you are the King of Cups. And so I feel like you're a person who isn't usually someone who brings their feelings to the surface, but now you've got someone here at the center of your life who's very emotional. This person isn't scared to show their feelings. And I feel like they draw that out of you, and maybe that's part of that makes you nervous as well. Because it feels like with the Strength card in the reverse that you don't want to hold back anymore. In fact, I think that it's getting harder and harder to hold back, but it feels like you're trying to gain the courage or the momentum to be as brave as the Queen. So tell me about the Strength card in the reverse here. I don't think you want to hold back anymore. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the King of Wands, and we've got the Nine of Swords. So I think that what your plan is the High Priestess energy. I feel like you're waiting and searching your intuition, sharpening your intuition, and saying, I can't make this decision until I'm absolutely and positively sure. I feel like you have a lot of wisdom. I feel like this King of energy is part of the Emperor energy, right? So I feel like you have a lot of wisdom. You do want to pursue. I don't think you can hold yourself back anymore. I think you can't stop thinking about the Queen. The Queen could be a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer, but they don't have to be, because this one is somebody who is kind, compassionate, loving, possibly a mother, someone who maybe just really gushes all over you. Do you know what I mean? Like they want to take care of you, and they call you beautiful things. And I feel like you're caught up in this energy here. The King is somebody who wants to pursue, but also has enough wisdom to know about the controlled burn. I can't just set the whole forest on fire because I'm trying to burn one thing. I feel like you're trying to practice holding back your fire a little bit. And I feel like the worrisome part of it is I need to wait until my intuition comes online here. I need to sharpen my intuition before I make the decision, because something here is about to be revealed to you that I think is going to help you make a better decision. Put the Four of Wands in the reverse here. So that tells me you've been through either a separation or a divorce. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and maybe you just became single. It could be that. Or maybe you're single because relationships just don't work out for you. You don't believe in soulmates. You don't think that there's someone out for you. And I think that you're facing a really hard decision. You're trying not to believe what you see. And again, this is another indication of intuition, right? The eyes are covered because this being the Two of Swords, there's water behind this person here. The universe is saying, I'm going to cover your eyes. If you covered your eyes, what decision would you make? Because the King is looking at fire. The King is very attracted, also very attractive. And if I covered your eyes, what decision would you make if you couldn't see them? Right? Do they have anything else to offer you? Look, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be in extended with us, then please look in the pinned comment, which is at the top of all the comments. When you click on read more, you will see that there is a link there for the membership area. That's where all these extendeds go. So if you're interested in coming there, you will get 4 extendeds on one sign in a month. But if you're watching for more signs, of course, you get 4 for all of those signs. And if you are interested in coming there, that's where we'll be next. If you're interested in a private read, I currently have a sale on until the 4th of March at midnight, 11:59 actually. You will get 10% off any of the pre-recorded readings that I offer. Please look at the Hypsee link and take the code with you, and you will be able to get your 10% off at checkout. And if you are somebody who's rather speak with me on the phone, I have been really enjoying having conversations with people on the phone. So if you want to talk to me about anything at all, it doesn't have to be just just tarot. I'm going to use tarot to get the answers, but, we could have a conversation about anything. Excuse me. And if you want to do that, then please pre-book your appointment and you will get between 5 and 75% off my live calls. I'm going to go into the extended. If you're going to be there, that's great. And if you can't make it, that's okay, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. Thanks, Scorpio. Bye-bye.